Welcome to your new SideQuest podcast with the intention of helping you through the game of life with mindful reframing and awareness as we all move through this journey called the human experience. It's time to level up. Hello everyone, and welcome to your new SideQuest, From Uncertainty to Certainty. In this episode, we're exploring how uncertainty doesn't dissolve by thinking, it dissolves by showing up and taking action. So, Zach, I know this is kind of like a very big one for you because we talked about it a few times, like out of the podcast. But you have this relationship with uncertainty that you kind of like deal with every now and then, right?
Yeah, I hate uncertainty. It's like the bane of my existence. Nah. But yeah, I pretty much I feel a certain way when things are ambiguous, whether it comes to work or relationships or with friends. And it's just something that I personally struggle with on a deeper level because uncertainty for a lot of people is like on a surface level, it's like mystery. It's like not knowing what's going to happen, and it can be fun. But for me, it's like a level of like oh shit, what's going to happen?
It's like emotional turmoil.
Emotional turmoil, yeah. It brings out the worst anxiety in me, especially when it comes to dating too, because I feel like when there are certain situations where like I don't know what's going to happen, I don't have a sense of control, I don't even know if I'm the right person for that, for someone who I'm also attracted to. It pulls me away from myself and it pulls me off center. So uncertainty is like the catalyst for a lot of the things that I get very anxious about.
Do you think that because of uncertainty, your relationship with uncertainty, you kind of self-sabotage?
In a way, yeah. I feel like whenever things are ambiguous, it triggers a part of me that's just very like deep, and it makes me want to I guess like it makes me want to reach out to get reassurance because I don't know, right? Like if something is unfamiliar, something is like ambiguous, for me, I have the impulse of like reaching out to that person and trying to see if they are giving me that attention right now, or trying to see what's up if they're busy or whatever, if they're interested. It stems from like something in my past, and then, just to put it short, like I wasn't given consistent care by my caregivers, and so it made me just very like anxious in those moments of those gaps, trying to fill in those gaps.
All right. I could totally relate it, especially in terms of dating, though, because like you, I had inconsistent care from my caregivers, and like when something is very uncertain or ambiguous or there's no consistency, I do make up a lot of shit in my
Yeah, your
imagination.
brain plays tricks on you.
Yeah, and I think about like the worst thing like possible, like you could possibly imagine like happening, like for
Who could
instance.
they be fucking?
Yeah, like or like they could be talking to someone else, if like I met with silence. And this actually stems from like one of my most traumatic experiences as a child, where my mom basically left me to go to school on my own without really mentally preparing myself
Oh yeah.
that I was gonna go somewhere that I wasn't familiar with, and then next thing I know, my mom wasn't there, and I'm like, what the hell happened? She just left me, and that I think that was like the foundation of my wounds, was
Yeah.
that I was left to fend for myself when I wasn't ready.
Yeah. That brought out like abandonment wounds.
That's why I have abandonment issues, because of that particular moment in time of my life in my childhood. But yeah, like with me, it's mostly like when I'm met with silence, I I try to fill in the blanks. Like you said, I don't necessarily try to reach out to them like compulsively.
Yeah.
It's more like I just leave my mind to do its thing and like it runs and like thinks of the worst things and like I will give it time, but I yeah, eventually I will like try to reach out to see if like something was wrong or like if they're just, they don't like me anymore or
Yeah, that's interesting how our brain goes there. Like when there's like a moment of silence, we're like, "Oh, something's wrong," like or
Mhm.
something's missing, right? Because then it's kind of like how we were conditioned in the past, where like when our caregivers wouldn't like provide us consistent care, we're kind of left stranded or left abandoned.
Mhm.
So automatically, it's kind of like our way of protecting ourselves.
Yeah, or survival, right?
Survival, yeah. That's why when there's uncertainty, it's so hard to sit still,
Mhm.
to be at peace with like just being alone for a little
Right.
bit and not knowing what's going to happen.
I'm pretty sure everyone feels that way when
Yeah.
something is not certain. They have these intrusive thoughts of like the worst thing's gonna happen, or we're left to care for ourselves, so we kind of have to just be in survival mode and figure it out.
On the other spectrum of that, I notice that when I am secure and grounded in myself, those pockets of gaps, if I'm texting someone who I'm just like not really like not caring about them, but like it just doesn't like affect me as much.
Mhm.
Like I'm a lot more stable. But if it's someone who I've attached like some kind of emotional
Like investment, yeah.
investment
Mhm.
into,
Mhm.
like there's this sense of urgency in me. Like I
Mhm.
want them to like fill in that gap. I want them to respond back quicker.
Mhm. I
Yeah.
I totally agree. If there's like some type of emotional attachment, it kind of brings us back to like our childhood days. That's why of not feeling safe.
Yeah.
And what we're really reaching for is that level of safety that we we just like so desperately want.
Yeah. I think at the core,
Mhm.
uncertainty exposes this like fear of not being safe,
Mhm.
like a lack of emotional safety.
Upon dating, though, like other than dating, this relationship with uncertainty can relate to other areas of life, like your job.
Oh yeah, I can talk about a
Yeah.
job that I previously worked at in the past
Mm.
where I used to work in like kind of social media marketing and stuff, and the way the nature of marketing is like it's unpredictable. Like there's hardly structure, even though like there are like ways to make that job feel stable. But in my previous job, I I had a lot of autonomy and I could like do whatever I want, but it felt like a lot of the times like my manager didn't really care about like what I was doing or if I was slacking off or anything. So it'd be so uncertain that it would actually affect my work performance.
Mm.
And I would later quit that job because there just wasn't predictability for me.
Mhm. This could also go with like anything other than a job, like just a creative project that you're pursuing, right? Or
Yeah.
even trying something new, right? Like for example, like pickleball, right? Like pickleball is, super popular, but like for me, I had like initially this fear of pickleball because, like it's unfamiliar.
Hmm.
But I did have like a tennis background, so because I had that confidence in that background, I was more open to trying something new. So I don't know. It's so stupid. Like whenever I try something new, I get like really scared.
Yeah. How did you establish safety with yourself to in order to try pickleball? Because like you said, it was unfamiliar at first, but did you feel like having that tennis background helped you feel safe?
Yeah, in that way that like I know that like I had skills in something similar because of that knowing, that knowledge of like that confidence in I have a background in hitting a fucking ball with a paddle
Mm-hmm.
that made me feel a lot more safer in that way to try something that's kind of similar. Overall, I think most of us do nothing like because we don't have the answer or we're afraid of the answer to something that's unfamiliar and unknown. I think the only way to find out like whether or not you'll actually like it or not like it or whatever answer you're looking for is to just take action, right?
Yeah. It can also apply to dating too, because if you, let's say you like someone or you're interested in that person, but you don't know if they're interested in you back, it can take a long time to really figure out if there is like mutual feelings there. Like I have one friend that likes someone else, and his approach is to get to know the person, kind of draw out this process to be friends when he like really really likes her. So like my advice for him would have been to just be direct and try to like set some intentions from the very beginning, because at least he won't waste his time. Like
Yeah.
if he takes that action and he's like direct with his like intentions.
So his approach is more like just slowly getting to know her versus
Yeah, like slowly build up, try to build like a relationship, which isn't wrong. Like it works for like people too, but I guess personally for me, like I would take the direct approach, and you know, I like ask them out.
because you don't want to waste time, right?
Yeah, yeah. If that's my intention, to be romantic with them.
I think what's important is like knowing what you want from the beginning and knowing your intentions of what you want this relationship to become.
Yeah, it's about being certain with yourself in the world of like uncertainty, right?
Yeah, and to be honest, like for me personally, like I like to find the in between where like I am getting to know someone in the beginning, but I also state my intentions where I'm like, I find you attractive and I have the intention of dating you,
Yeah.
but I also want to, get to know you. But it's so hard because like
Where would you express that in the early stages of meeting that person?
I think after like a couple hangouts, then I would be more intentional, like because by then I'll know what I actually want, and then I'll just say, oh, yeah, I want to date. Like I want to date you to get to know you, not try to establish a friendship to get to know you, and then try to fucking like date you afterwards. Because yeah, you have to know what you want. Like, do you want a friendship or do you want a date? Like,
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of people would get stuck initiating that because they have a fear or uncertainty about what's going to happen in the future.
yeah, well, but that brings us to this whole point of the way you find out is to take action.
Yeah.
I really like this quote. It's kind of like a bad saying because it has a bad connotation to it, but I kind of see it as more of like in a positive way. It's basically fuck around and find out where what it is like overall is saying that the only way to find out to find your answer is to do something about it, right? It could be either good or bad, but I kind of see it as good. You just fuck around.
Literally and metaphorically.
Yeah, literally
Yeah.
and metaphorically, you fuck around and find out.
I
So,
like that. It's kind of like you're playing your cards. You're not holding it to your chest so tightly, but you're at least like investing a little bit and seeing if there's like reciprocation.
yeah, you just go for it because YOLO, and you're only young ones too. So just fuck around, and find out. You might like it, you might not. So let's go to our mindful reframing here.
So, our mindful reframing is uncertainty isn't a sign to stop, it's an invitation to lean in, to explore, and to invest. Certainty doesn't come from thinking, it comes from choosing to show up for the experience, whether it's love, purpose, or personal growth.
Yeah, guys, just fuck around and find out. Let's go.
That's the end of our podcast. If you guys enjoyed this episode, be sure to give us 5 stars on Spotify as well as Apple Podcast. If you're watching this on YouTube, give us a like as well as subscribe to our channel. Thank you guys for listening to our episode. This is your new SideQuest podcast.
Side quest complete.